right now. This was a study hall about 4 or 5 weeks ago. We found out we would be here, and I said, you know what, it's not perfect, but we're going to make the best of what we have. So we right now have 6 stations, 6 places to squat, 6 places to bench, overhead press, whatever it is. And we're going to find a way to work within what we have. One thing I can't stand is excuses, and I can't stand when people say, Penn State does A. Well, if A is successful, why aren't we doing A? Figure out a way to do what any other school is doing, irregardless of the equipment you have, the space you have.
You know, when we get to move upstairs, it'll be a lot better. Obviously, we just have to kind of adapt and overcome right now. We have a small space, but we're making it work.
I can't wait when it's finished. We've been drawing that out for a couple years now. We've worked with Elite FTS, a company we've worked with in the past, about getting new equipment in, hopefully a turf area inside the facility, so we have a place to do some warm-up things, some change of direction, some footwork, as well as doing our strength and conditioning work in that room. So once that's finally finished out, we'll make a huge difference. But even once we move out of this room here in about 6 weeks, we have some great plans once we get upstairs into our temporary facility, which will make a big difference. With football, especially going through camp, this year's a lot different with new NCAA rule because they can only practice once every day. And with football only practicing once every day, we have a lot more time spent in the weight rooms. This year, we're in here 6 days a week in here lifting for about an hour per lift. Now, we are doing some flexibility in that, some prehab and rehab work, but we're also trying to lift. And part of our goal this year in camp is actually to leave a little stronger than we came into camp.
Obviously, back when I played, we had 2-a-days, not as much lifting time. We only got to lift about once every 3 days based on our position group. So now, with the NCAA outlawing 2 days, the guys have more time to come in and get lifts. We'll lift 5 to 6 days a week. So they have the advantage of coming in, getting stronger, working on more recovery work, kind of getting them fresh since we only have one practice in the morning. So as a player, I wish we had more time in the weight room, but obviously those were different times. So player to coach, the biggest thing is knowing what the players want in the weight room as far as strength and recovery wise, so I can use that knowledge to give back to them that I wanted as a player.
Football was a sport that started really strength and conditioning in this country, and it's just kind of ingrained into the culture of the sport. So I think when you're working with football players, it's a little easier to get buy-in as to why adding some weight to the bar will be beneficial to them. It's also a sport that they want to get bigger, they want to be stronger. So it makes it a lot easier as a strength coach to get the athlete to want to improve in the weight room. It's actually usually interesting with football freshmen because most of them in high school really tried hard, but they didn't really know what they were doing. And I'm in no way putting down the high school football coaches. Often it would be like if you put me on the practice field and had me coach football, we wouldn't do very well. I would do my best and I would try, but a lot of times they come in with some deficiencies in how they lift. Also, some weaknesses that are glaring. Most of our athletes really come in, they don't have a lot of hamstring strength. They don't have a lot of what's called posterior chain strength. And so we have to really work on bringing that up. In the first few weeks, you're really asking them to kind of shift their paradigm and shift their way of thinking. And that can be hard when you're 18 years old and you think, hey, I've bench pressed 350 pounds. I'm very strong. So yeah, but you can't squat 400 pounds. So we obviously have a bit of an issue there. So with the freshmen, we really try to deal with increasing the posterior chain strength and teaching them how to lift, as well as just teach them how to work in the weight room. With the returners, we test them when they get back for the guys who weren't here all summer, and I want to see, one, did they do something? And the way we test them is a little different. Instead of going to a true max, we schedule 90%, 95%, and 100%. If you hit 90 or 95%, a lot of times we'll just cut it there because we'll know, okay, you're still at least as strong as you were. The repetitions look good. So we're looking for clean and crisp repetitions from them. And then we're looking for, depending on the position, we have a receiver who squatted 530 pounds. I don't really care if he squats 535 by season because the odds of us getting his strength up there, I care that he moves 300 pounds faster. So a lot of it is teaching them how to be more violent with the bar because football is such a violent sport and we need them to be violent in their movements that we're trying to teach more explosive movements with some of those upperclassmen.
We try to get our guys physically ready for the game, but also mentally ready for the game. So as you'll see, sometimes we'll have our guys do breathing exercises. You'll notice that we'll do belly breathing. Besides lifting, everyone thinks, oh, you got to lift, be strong, powerful, but we also have to mentally prepare them for the game. The game, it's chaotic, organized chaos. So we want to get our guys as mentally ready for the chaos on the field as humanly possible. So like I said, we'll do belly breathing, we'll work on meditation to get them ready to slow their heart rates down, because like I said, once you're on the field, organized chaos, things get crazy, heart rate going, we lose mechanical functions, then we get mistakes that happen. So by us doing meditation, belly breathing, relaxing ourselves, relaxing the heart rate, less mistakes will occur.
When you look at, and without getting into too much physics, Newtonian laws is pretty simple. Newton's second law is force equals mass times acceleration. If you want to be a more forceful athlete, you can change mass or you can change acceleration. You manipulate those two factors, you create more force. So if you take a lineman, the athlete who gets his hands inside of the other person's hands first has a distinct advantage. But then it becomes a battle. And if one person is significantly stronger than the other, they can overcome that they lost with the quick hand thing. So obviously we want to create an athlete who can create more force by being very explosive, but then a very strong athlete who can think of it like torque in a car. All right, we got the horsepower now I need to torque them back to the ground, and that's absolute strength. So we're trying to address all facets of strength. We do basically what's called a concurrent training model here, where we're trying to increase absolute strength, speed strength, explosive strength, strength speed, all these different factors of strength simultaneously.
2 weeks in, obviously we gained an extra week because of the loss of two-a-days, so we get an extra week of working on things on the field and also in the weight room. So far it's good. The guys have really bought in to the program. Freshmen are doing great. It's an extra week for them is critical, not only in the weight room but also on the practice field. More reps mentally and physically. We have more film time since we only have one practice, so it's very beneficial for the guys. And we're almost halfway through, and things are progressing very well. So it should be a fun year. I'm looking forward to it.